Oh, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Can you guys see me okay? Yeah, I guess so. I'll move this a little bit. So everybody hopefully survived Halloween. I know I overindulged in candy last night because I didn't have very many trick-or-treaters. So today I thought we'd continue on with our yamas, and yamas are healthy behaviors. And so, okay, what's a different word for behavior that might be more understandable? Healthy practices. Yeah. So the second yama is Satya. That's Sanskrit for truth. So truthfulness is a healthy behavior, right? And I wanted to share with you, I have this book that I've had for eons that's Meditations from the Mat, and he kind of gives a really good description of Satya, I think. Satya is about living our truth. It's that simple. There are many ways to do this, as there are people who practice Satya, and no one can tell you how you should listen for and find the truth within yourself. It makes sense to talk things over with someone you trust, but the point of the discussion is to come closer to your truth, not to have someone relieve you of the responsibility of discerning your truth. For some of us, it is a long road back to our own truth, for we live in a culture in which truth is a rare commodity. Our work environments, home lives, and friendships are often permeated with falsehood. We distrust the slogans of the media, the promises of our leaders, the testimonials of politicians, the declarations of business people. Many of us come from families in which appearances are more important than reality. Still others have grown up in upside-down households in which children took care of parents or were expected to play prescribed roles in order to meet their parents' needs. Elaborate no-talk rules must be deconstructed. Old fears must be released. Habits of silence must be examined. Are we failing to speak the truth out of a desire to protect or care for others? How do we respond to information we know to be untrue? How do we get in touch with what is true and good within ourselves? The list of ways in which we have obscured the truth from ourselves and others is as endless as the suffering which obfuscation produces. It's a good word, but it's long. Before we begin this work, it can feel overwhelming, but we are each possessed of an inner compass. When we stand still in the wilderness and take our bearings, we are able to apprehend the truth about ourselves and the world around us. And once we commence the practice of Satya, we will never want to look back. We have only our own suffering to lose. As Plato said, truth is the beginning of every good thing, both in heaven and on earth. And he who would be blessed and happy to be from the first a partaker of truth, for then he can be trusted. Over time, you will have the pleasure of watching this beautiful practice blossom in your life in a way that is honest and authentic. As you learn to speak the truth, you will learn to be true to yourself, to all that is best in you. So truth is something that you have to find inside you. So let's just close our eyes. And just notice your breath as it moves in and out. Just take note of how good it feels to be in your own skin. And please bring hands to heart center. May we all learn to be truthful, Satya, with ourselves. Be true to who we are inside. And that'll give us the ability to see the beauty and the grace that is in others. And please lower your hands, open your eyes. You've made it around to everybody now. Now just a real easy twist where you are. So bring your right hand behind you, left hand to your knee, and twist. And then come on up and over to the other side. Try and keep a nice long spine. And then back to middle and just fold forward a little bit. Good. And then come on up and switch shins in front. And the same thing, just twist to your right. And switch to the left. Just take note of your hips, keep them grounded. And back to center and fold. And come on up. And come off your blankets. Bring your feet in front of you. Grab a hold behind your knees. Sit up nice and tall. We're working on some heart openers today. So nice and tall. Lean back, lift your feet. You can bring your shins parallel to the floor, or you can stretch them all the way up. Little warm up Navasana. Yeah, you can hold on if you need to. Couple breaths. And then come on back down and go ahead and come to all fours position. You can use the knee cush if you need to. Yeah. With your hands right under shoulders, knees under hips, just move through cow pose. So like big curve and then round to cat. And then cow and round to cat. One more time. And round to cat. And then pause with a flat back. Just feel connected in your core and extend your right leg. Just feel really connected. And then I'm going to have you lift the leg a little bit, round your back, come up like more like a cow. Let your heart move forward. And then come back to flat back. So connect through the core. And then bring your foot off to the left side. So bring it across, set it down, the ball of the foot's down. Keep your hips square to the floor, lengthen your spine, and then twist and look at your foot. Nice stretch in the right side of the body. And come back to center, bring that knee in. And then extend the right arm up. And then thread it underneath for a little thread the needle. And come on. back to center, and we'll switch sides. So extend the left leg. Just feel connection all up and down your spine, long through the top of your head. And then just kind of move into that cow, extended cow with that leg lifted. Very subtle. You don't have to lift real high. Around the back, heart comes forward. Good. And then come back to the flat back. Really feel like you're broadening your collarbones apart. Bring the foot off to the right side now. There you go. Nice long spine, and twist and look at the foot. Feel a stretch in the left side body. You can even let your ribs move to the left a little bit. Good. And then come on back to center, knee down, extend the left arm and thread it through. Good. Good, and unwind. I'm going to have you grab your block and bring your hands on the block. And then extend the right leg again and swing it all the way around to the right side of your block. Yeah. Good. Turn the toes and the kneecap same direction. Hug heel towards knee, knee towards heel. Big stretch. And then if you want to, lift the back knee. Yeah. And you can also lower down if you like. Big stretch. Don't have to. You can stay here. It's okay. Good. Lower the knee. Come up and swing the foot back around. And let's switch to the other side. So swing it around to the outside. You can move this knee back if you need to. Hug to the midline, kneecaps and toes point the same direction. Nice long spine. And then see where it takes you. You can lift the back knee if you want more stretch. I like that feeling, but some of you may, your truth may be in leaving the knee down. Only you can discern the truth for yourself. Keep the left hip crease back. Good. Lower the knee. Swing the foot back around. Good. And then walk your hands back. Come up on your knees. I'm going to have you bring your arms forward, elbows bent, and think long side body. Draw the shoulders on the back, but I keep the ribs down and knit. And then you're just going to open up. And then on your exhale, round, bring the forearms together. And do that again. So inhale, lengthen, lift the heart forward. And exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Good, and release. Keeping your toes curled under. Sit back as much as you can. If you need to keep forward, you can. Just stretch out your toes and your feet. Okay. You gotta stretch our quads a little bit for where we're going. And then come forward. Just move your blocks to the side for a moment. Stretch your toes long. You might have to bring your knees wider and sit back to the child's pose. And if you need to stay up, if your knees don't like that, stay up. Or you can sit all the way back. Good. Stretch your arms a little bit longer. Come up on fingertips. And then make your way back to all fours. And just want to stretch your shoulders a little more. So bring your elbows under your shoulders and right under. You don't want them to be wider than the shoulders. Interlace your hands. Press your forearms and your knuckles down, or your clenched hands down. Press them down. Think broaden the shoulder blades a little bit. Keep the core really engaged, and then lift your knees and see how that feels. And you can straighten the legs if you're feeling strong in your shoulder girdle, I guess. Dolphin pose. You don't have to straighten your legs all the way. Just go where it feels like a good, connected pose. Couple more breaths. And lower back down. Good. Come on up to all fours. Stretch your feet long and sit back on your heels all the way. So seated. Feel, you might have to, yeah, that's it, Helen. Might have to move your calves out of the way. Yeah, if your knees don't like it, you can always do this too. You snug a blanket up there. Yeah, good. If you like. For me, it feels really nice when I do that. And then come back to all fours. You can use your blocks again. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. And then extend your right leg out to the side. Yeah. And come up on your knees. You might have to move your things a little bit. Your heel and your knee are about in the same line. There you go. Good. Extend your left arm. Think really knit in the rib cage. Your shoulders are square, your hips are square, and then arc towards your foot. Yeah. Feel a nice stretch. And you don't have to extend your arm if you have a painful shoulder. Just feel like armpits hollow. That's it. Good. Good. And then come on back up. Bring the hand down. Turn the toes up on the opposite foot and open up. I want you to feel a heart opening. So shoulders on the back. Oh, rib cage engaged. Open the heart. Good. And then come forward. Find the blocks if you want to switch. The left foot out. I've got the advantage of the sticky mat under my foot. Come on up. Feel like you're really, I always kind of keep a little baby bend in that knee. Extend the right arm and arc. Breathe. This is called gate pose. And come on up and down, toes up. Open up. I like this feeling of a nice, open, truthful heart. We have nothing to hide. We can expose it all. Good. And then come on back down. Hands on the blocks. Let's just go to a downward facing dog on the block. And then step your feet up to your hands, forward fold. And I want you to, yeah. Good. Yep, you're good. Feel all parts of your feet grounded. Let's take a moment here. And then turn your toes out a little bit. Come down to a deep squat. If that doesn't work for you, just come down to a seated position and then transition. You can pause and, oh, that's good, Helen. Good. You can pause here or just come down to seated and sit back so you're kind of in the middle of the mat. And then coming to Navasana again. So hang on, lean back, lift your heart. I want you to really feel the heart lifted and connection here. Arms can straighten and then stretch into it. Navasana. I want you to get that feeling of lifting right here. Good, and then come on down. Now staying off your blanket for this variation, I'm going to have you just bring your feet wide. Flex the feet. Right hand to the side, left hand to the outside of the foot. Think long side body, and then just tuck your chin and draw your sternum back to stretch out the back side of your shoulder. Couple breaths, and then switch. Long side body, tuck the shoulder, sternum draws back. And come on out. Now reach across, grab the ankle and bring it across so your heel and your hip are about in the same plane, just so you feel kind of comfortable. Bring this foot in a little closer. It's going to be kind of weird. You're going to cross your wrists and grab the foot. See if that works. Yeah. And if, yeah, that's perfect. And then lift the heel and see about extending it up. It doesn't have to straighten all the way. And then just bring your left hand off to support you. Think long spine and twist. Feel both sits bones grounded. So nice stretch in the hamstring, really tall spine. Good. And then unwind, bend the knee. Now for some of you, you're just gonna do Sukhasana. Some of you might be here, or some of you might be able to cross on top. It's deep. It's okay to go here or here. See, Helen's got it there. It's perfect. This is really deep for me too. Some people it's easy, other people not so much. Just feel that for a minute. If you're really open, you can fold forward if you want to. Most people try not to let your ankles sickle, so not like that, but like that. This is a hip opener to the max. Whew. Breathe. Sometimes if you put your hands under the top shin and pull up a little bit, that feels kind of nice. And then you just kind of resist. Good. One more breath. And unwind. I needed that hip opener today. Good. Feet apart. This time you bring the left foot in. Just bring the heel in closer and in line with your hip. Cross your wrist, find the foot. And yeah, just use your hand to support. Just see where it goes. You don't have to straighten all the way. I want you to keep the long spine. That's the most important thing. Nice hamstring stretch. Bring the hand off to the side. Little twist. Oh, that feels so nice. I don't want to come out. Good. Bend the knee. And wherever it is, either like this, or like this. Agni Sambhasana. Yeah. One side will be different than the other. This is my easier side. You want to bring hands under shin. Pull up a little. You can always fold forward if you're feeling really comfortable here. Fold forward. If you want more stretch, this bottom foot come forward a little bit. So knee is on ankle. Yeah, it's deeper. Nice long spine. Try to keep a curve in the low back. And then if it's feeling good, you can fold. Don't have to. Yeah. One more breath. And come on out. Unwind. And come back to all fours. Good job. Hands forward of your shoulders, one hand width. Remembering to claw the floor, keep the weight spread on all parts of your hands. Come on up to downward facing dog. So hips up and back, rib cage back, long spine all the way through the top of the head. Press through your finger mounds. Feel like the shoulder blades are in the back, but they're broadening so your heart comes forward a little bit, but not too much that it feels. Good, and then come forward to plank pose and hold that as well. Now, if you need to, lower your knees, but I want you to really feel that connection in the shoulder girdle. Good, and then if you want, one more breath. If you need to, lower your knees, otherwise hug your elbows in, lower down to the mat. Good, stretch your feet long, lift to cobra. I'm going to have you hold it for a minute. So think rib cage back, shoulders back, long spine. That's it. Press your feet down and lower down. Good. Downward facing dog. Bring your feet a little closer together. Extend the right leg. So it's a three-legged dog. And just feel that. I really want you to feel strong in your shoulder girdle. Bend your right knee and open your hip. So you're stacking your right hip on top of the left. Keep the left shoulder lifting. Open up wild dog. Good, that's it. And then square up the hips. Extend the legs. And come on down. We're gonna do this in pieces, okay? Take a child's pose for a moment. and look up here for just a moment. So come on up to seated. Watch me. So I go to downward facing dog. I bring my feet a little closer because it feels more stable for me. Extend the left leg. And then I bend the knee and maybe bend the elbow and then open up to wild dog. It feels a little bit better on my right shoulder because it's forcing me to keep it back. But you don't have to do it. You can just do it like that too. Notice how my shoulder doesn't drop. Okay. So come on up to down dog. Extend the left leg, bend the knee, and whatever variation you like. Oh. Good. Come on back up. Extend the leg and bring the foot down. Good. Right leg again. Extend the right leg. This time, come forward to a three-legged plank. So come forward, keep the foot lifted. Feel really strong in the shoulder girdle, in the core, long spine, and lower the foot. Come on down to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale back down. Downward facing dog. Feet closer again. Do the other side. Left leg extends. Keep the hips square. Toes pointing down. Come forward to three-legged plank. Your left foot will come close to the floor. So I want you to feel super long through the top of your head. You can lower the foot to lower down or try lowering down with that foot lifted. Good. Stretch both feet long. Inhale to cobra. Exhale back down. And push all the way back, downward facing dog. Step your feet to your hands. You can use blocks if you want to. Forward fold. And just take a moment there. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Reach up and feeling your feet grounded and everything connected up and down the spine. Just kind of lean back and let your heart come forward. So the armpits stay hollow, your heart comes forward. Good. And then bring hands through heart center and relax a minute. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Take a wide stance on your mat. So turn this way and take a wide stance. Have a block handy if you want to. And so they can see me, I'm going to come up here. Okay, so wide stance. Feel grounded through all of your feet. Stretch your arms up. And just arc to your right. And then up and over to your left. And back to center. And fold forward. Prasarita. Padottanasana. Use your blocks if you need to. And just keep the weight in all parts of your feet. Nice. Yeah, perfect. Bend your knees a little bit, Lydia. Bend your knees. There you go. Keep your spine nice and long. And then fold forward. And then come up like a pranam. So your hands are right under your shoulders. And feel the curve in the low back, the rib cage drawing up, the links through the top of the head. Bring your right hand to your hip and twist to your right. Just feel that. You don't have to, you can still look at the floor if you want. Just feel the twist in your legs. Good. Unwind and switch. So left hand to your hip, think really long spine, twist. And unwind. Bend your knees, walk your hands back a little bit. Fold deeper, a little bit longer in Prasarta. If you can get your head down, that feels really nice, but most of us can't do that. It's okay. Good, and then coming up in a pranam, bend your knees, bring your hands on your knees and your thighs, and come on up. Oh, beautiful. And then step your feet together and turn back towards the front, please. Okay. And come to the front of your mat and have you do that. And let's use our blocks for a minute. Hands or blocks to the outside of the feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. And step your right foot back to deep lunge. So heel, knee, hip in line, and lower the back knee. There you go. There you go. So left foot is, knee is above ankle. That's it, good. And back knee is back a little further. Heels, knees, and hips. Hips line up. Hips are square to the front. Bring your hands to your front knee. Hug heel to knee, knee to heel. I'm going to have you stretch up to Anjane Asana if you feel stable. You can keep your hands here if you don't. And then bend your elbows a little bit. Think rib cage is back, hips are square. And I'm just going to allow my heart to come forward, just like you did before. Heart forward. You'll feel it deeper in your hip flexor. And then touch down. Good. Lift the back knee, step forward, and we'll switch. Left foot back, deep lunge. Lower the back knee, hug to the midline, keep everything square, and bring the hands to the front knee if you'd like. Feel really set. Stretch the arms up. Anjane Asana. Bend the elbows. Think low belly draws up, rib cage draws back, long side body, and then open the heart a little bit. It's a weird feeling. Just see if you can get that heart opening effect. And then touch down. Good. Lift the back knee, step back, down dog. And it's okay if your hands are on blocks, that's totally fine. Take a moment and down dog. Beautiful. Good. And then lower your knees. Come, bring your knees on that knee cush if you want. And grab your blocks. And you're going to come up to standing and put your blocks by your heels. Okay. Standing on knees. Sorry, I said standing, but I meant standing on knees. Okay, so we're just gonna do one arm at a time. So I want you to bring your right arm up and think to yourself, okay, I'm gonna keep this armpit hollow, keep the rib cage back, and then slowly lean back, keeping your head looking forward. Reach back and find the block with your left hand. So you try not to let your hips pop forward. So you keep the curve, and then you just curve open a little bit. You can re-extend the arm if you feel like that is good for you. Just a little bit of a heart opening. Good. And then come on up. Feel good? Yeah. So key is you want to draw your low belly up, but not scoop your tail so these come forward. You want to keep the curve here. So it's like you're connected, but yet you're not scooping, okay? No scoop. Okay, let's do the other arm. So left arm comes up. If it's easier for you to bend the elbow, great. Think long side body, hollow armpits, rib cage engaged, and then just slowly lean back, find the block or the heel, and extend. I try to keep looking forward for the longest time, drawing the chin back, and then if it feels like you want to let your head go, don't just let it go. Keep that lengthening through the top of the head. Good, and come on back up. Feel okay? Okay. So let's do it with both hands now. You don't have to use the blocks, and you can even use the heels, the blocks, the heels, or extend and use just the extended feet. So let's try it with both arms. So think, okay, hug to the midline with feet and knees to really feel the sit bones back and apart, and then draw the low belly up, rib cage back, long side body, rib cage back, long side body, and then just slowly start to lean back. Every time you feel a little pinchy, say, okay, no scoop, and then just keep going. If you can find the heels, let your heart come forward, but keep connected. Broaden your clavicles apart. Camel pose. One more breath. And then lifting with your heart first. Come forward. Go ahead and take a child's pose. And breathe super deep into your low belly and your low back. You can stack your hands under your forehead. Couple breaths. And then come on up. Bring your hands forward of your shoulders. Lift to downward facing dog. Your hands are on the blocks. That's great. Extend the right leg and then try and step it all the way up and through to a deep lunge. Yeah, you can use the blocks. Lower the back knee. Yeah, and come upright. I want you to really remember to keep the hips square. And then just bring the hands behind the head and push back a little bit. You can let your elbows come forward so you feel that connection. And then you're just gonna twist to your left and arc back a little bit. And then come up Twist to your right and come down. Yeah. Let your elbow come down. Extend your right arm up. That's it. Good. Good. And unwind. Lift the back knee. Step back. And we'll switch sides. So extend the left leg. Step it through. This is an experiment, by the way. I saw this somewhere. Lower the back knee. Come up. Hands behind the head. Twist to your right. Lean back a little bit. Heart forward. You have to really stay connected in your core. Come back. Twist to your left. Elbow to the knee. Arm to the sky. Good. And unwind. Nice job. Lift the back knee. This time, step forward to a forward fold. Take a moment here. Hands to your knees. Come up. So torso's upright. Hips are moving back. Weight in all parts of your feet. Hands to heart center. Think long spine, connected spine. Good, and then stretch on up to standing. Okay, this is where you might want the belt. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna have you think long side body, shoulder blades back, but rib cage back. So my heart's forward, and then reach the arms back and see if you can interlace them. If not, use the belt. Yeah, you can interlace them, super duper. Pretend like you're broadening here. So broaden the clavicles, stretch the knuckles back, and then you're gonna fold forward again like that. Shoulders. You can bend your knees. If your name's Lydia, I want you to see it. Yeah, good. Shoulders stay on the back. Awesome. And release the hands to the floor. And however you can, come down to seated position. I'm going to have you grab a block and have it handy by your side, okay? And lay on your back. Turn these lights down. Feet right under knees. And we're going to do Satya Bandha, but I want you to get that feeling of the heart lift in Satya Bandha. So hands are by your hips. Think long side body. Feel the curve in your low back. So your sits bones are grounded. Feel all four corners of your feet. And then with your rib cage back, lift your heart a little bit. So you'll feel a little bit more curve in your low back. And then just press into your feet and lift your hips up to Satya Bandha. This back bending position should feel a little easier right now. Hopefully, hug your feet towards you, lift your heart a little more, lift your chin. And breathe. If it's better for you to interlace your hands, you can do that. I'm just going to have you hold it for a few minutes so you can really explore this feeling of letting your heart lift, but your clavicles broaden and your rib cage being intact. Try not to scoop the tail. You can use your glutes and your hamstrings though, right? 2 more breaths. And on your next exhale, lower down. Hug your knees in. And roll side to side a little bit. I'm gonna let you do that again. If you want to do Urdhva Veronica, it seems like you've done a lot of yoga. You can do that one. Okay. Anyone that wants to do full back bend can. Otherwise, do Satya Bandha again. So feel the feet, feel the sits bones grounded. It's okay. If you're going to full back bend, you can place your hands and just feel your heart lift and your clavicles broadening. That's what I want you to get. Lift the hips. And then if you're going to full back bend, you can lift up. See what you can glean from your experience in those other poses. Hold for one more breath and come on down. Woohoo! Okay, now we're going to do Satya Bandha one more time, but this time you get to use the block. And you can put it underneath and either low or medium. So try it. Bring it right under your sacrum. Let your heart lift and just relax down onto the block. You'll know if it's in the right place if you lift your feet and it feels okay. If that feels good, you feel free to lift your feet. Yeah. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. It should feel relaxing and feel like your heart can lift. Perfect. And then if you want to, you can extend your legs up. If it feels good with your feet lifted, I want you to really just feel connected. Feel like this is restorative more than anything. You can point and flex your feet if your legs are lifted. Oh, feels good. And then bend your knees. Bring your feet flat again and lift up just enough to slide the block out. And so feel the curve in your low back, but lift your right leg up and interlace your hands behind the thigh. And press the leg into your hand. And then see, can you lengthen the left leg to the floor? And if it doesn't feel good, just keep it bent. It's okay. And then flex and point the foot a few times. And then bend the knee, hug the knee closer in, but keep the left leg grounded. And then maybe allow it to come off to the side a little bit. Hold it there. Bring your left hand out to the side, your right elbow to the inside of the knee, and then see if you can find the little toe side of your right foot for half happy baby. You might have to bend the left knee. That's okay. But you can't find it, bend the left knee. It helps. Yeah, good. That's it. That's it. And then just for fun, if you can keep the left leg and the left arm grounded, see what happens if you straighten the right leg and bring it off to the right a little bit. Don't have to straighten it all the way, just see where it takes you today. Good, and then bending the knee again. Bend the left knee, bring the right ankle across the left thigh. And this might be where you stay, a little bit more of a hip opener, or you can lift the left foot up, interlace behind, and relax back down. Little hip opener. Keep the right foot flexed. One more breath. And release the foot to the floor, unwind, and we'll start on the other side. So extend the left leg, interlace behind the left thigh, press the thigh into your hand, and then see about extending the right leg. The left hip crease stays reaching forward. You still have the curve in your low back. If you lose that, bend the right knee and put the foot flat. Okay. Point and flex the left foot a few times. And then hug the left knee in. Bring it off towards the armpit a little bit. Hold it there. Left elbow comes to the inside, right arm to the side. Lift the foot up towards the ceiling and grab the little toe side for half happy baby. You might have to bend the right knee. That's okay. Yeah, good. And then if you want that additional stretch, you can stretch the leg straight and bring it to the side. Keep the left hip crease moving towards the right foot. Good, bring it back in. Bend the right knee, set the left ankle on the right thigh. If this is enough, perfect. If you want more, interlace behind the thigh. Lengthen your spine, keep the curve. You'll feel it all over in that left hip. Keep the core engaged so it isolates it to the hip. And then release the foot to the ground. Unwind. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open wide. I like to have my hands on my inner thighs or my belly. And then bringing the knees up. Go ahead and stretch out for Shavasana. So legs long, arms long. Find a good position. Just totally relax. Every exhalation allows you release. Think of the skin and the muscles as sliding off the bone to relax and allow gravity to just take them so that you feel securely grounded. Your bones are heavy, your muscles are totally relaxed. You just work from head to toe. Just notice if there's any tension that you're finding and let it go. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Relax your shoulders. Relax your belly. Your legs, feet. Beginning to notice your breath. Feel the cool inhalation as it moves through your nostrils, down the back of your throat, to your lungs, and maybe the warmer exhalation that makes its way back out. Begin to move fingers and toes, small waves. And when you're ready to move more, you can draw your knees in towards your chest and roll to the right side. And push on up to seated when you're ready. Take your time. But for a few more moments in your quiet space, and please bring hands to heart center and bow towards your heart. Thank you so much for practicing today and for being your authentic and true selves. And I bow to that authentic, true self. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for being here at home too. Hopefully it felt okay. Did it feel okay?
Thanks, Lisa.